On the 8th of April, 2021, Cameron Herrin was set to receive his sentencing. No remorse. These two people are what you call murderers. They are the definition of a murderer. First, let's take a look at Cameron and Barano's licenses. Were the boys even allowed to drive? According to an officer who did go over the boys' license did say that it was valid and that they had no problems before this accident. Take a look at the officer's statement.
In your report, you noted that Cameron Herrin and John Barano both had valid driver's licenses, correct?
Correct.
And you also noted that you had checked their driving record with DMV, and neither Cameron Herrin nor John Barano had any infractions.
That's correct.
And then you also noted that Cameron Herrin did not display any signs of impairment at the time of the crash, correct?
Correct.
Therefore, their license were okay, and they were valid to drive. But was Cameron under any substance of drugs or alcohol during this accident?
Sometimes articulable signs of people been drinking, if they're on drugs and things like that, correct?
Correct.
And here, there was absolutely zero evidence of any drugs or alcohol as far as Cameron Herrin was concerned, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Now we know the truth that Cameron Herrin nor John Barano were under any use of alcohol or drugs. But what still doesn't make sense is the positions their cars were in at the crime scene. Eyewitnesses told Tampa police that they saw Nissan, which was driven by Barano, pass by first, then was later followed by the Mustang, which was driven by Herrin.
And you're aware that Mr. Lewis told the Tampa Police Department that as he was driving north on Bayshore, he was passed by the Nissan first, and then very shortly thereafter, the Mustang, correct?
I wouldn't dispute you if that's what you say.
I'm sorry?
I wouldn't dispute it. I can't tell you exactly what
Okay,
you
you
said.
just don't remember?
I don't remember now.
Don't you think that it is weird how he all of a sudden doesn't remember? If he knew he was gonna testify, why didn't he prepare himself? Or was this done on purpose? Listen to this carefully.
For at least one of the witnesses, Stephanie Ives, you told several different judges in about a dozen or two search warrants that Stephanie Ives, who was an eyewitness, had testified that the Nissan went first before her, and then behind it came the Mustang, correct?
That's what the warrant says, yes.
Pardon me?
If that's what the warrant says,
Yeah.
yes.
And you don't dispute that, do you?
No, I don't dispute that. No.
Okay.
And Cameron was on his hands and knees, throwing up and crying. I feel responsible for this accident, and I accept full accountability for my actions. if I could, I would step in front of Cameron and I would accept the punishment that you might render. That's how strong I feel about my involvement or my actions that led to this accident, perhaps.
I'm a human, a daughter, a wife, and a mother of 3 boys. But I'm not a robot. I want justice for Cameron Herrin, from Portugal.
Account was suspended, apparently because I'm a robot, not human being. I support Cameron not because he's handsome or good looking, but because he was wronged and we all deserve a second chance. Everything we want is justice.
Going to adjudicate the defendant guilty, sentence him to 9 years in the Florida State Prison. On count 2, same charge, court will adjudicate the defendant guilty, sentence him to 15 years Florida State Prison, and that'll run consecutive to count 1, for a total of 24 years Florida State Prison. Count 3 is a misdemeanor, unlawful racing on a highway, so the court will adjudicate the defendant guilty, sentence him to time served. Give credit for time served, I believe, 2 days. Court will impose mandatory court costs. Mr. Herrin, you have given up the right to appeal the determination of your guilt or innocence. You do have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. And I'll direct the bailiffs to take Mr. Herrin into custody. Wish you well, Mr. Herrin.
Mrs. Herrin also mentioned in her statement that they sold their house in order to pay the victim's family $5.5 million. But no charges were dropped even after the money was given to the family of the victim. You must have seen news on the media talking about these supporters. They call themselves the Herrin Army. A group of people around the world have come together to support Herrin and his family. The media has referred to them as bots and has suspended most of their Twitter accounts. But that did not stop their support for Herrin. Their hashtag Justice for Cameron Herrin has been a trend on a few social platforms. My heart goes out to these ladies and girls who have taken time to support.
My name is Rita and I'm from the United Kingdom. I am not a bot and I am supporting Cameron for the injustice, not for his looks. Thank you.
My name
My name
is
is
Aisha.
Aisha.
I'm
I am
from
from
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan.
Drastic
Tati
for
for
Cameron
Herrin.
Herrin.
Hi.
Please.
Please.
Assalamualaikum. I'm Anaya from Pakistan and I support Cameron Herrin. I'm a human, not a robot.
I'm supporting Cameron Herrin and I am not a bot.
Hai, saya Octavia from Indonesia. Saya hanya meminta keadilan untuk Cameron Herrin.
My name
Is
is
Rayana.
Rayana.
I'm
I'm
from
from
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan.
Drastic
Plastic.
Drastic
Plastic.
for
For
Cameron
Cameron
Herrin.
Herrin.
Please.
Please.
Noor. I'm from Pakistan and I want justice for Cameron Herrin.
Hi, my name is Miriam. I am from Morocco. I am a medical student. I am not a teenager and I support Cameron Herrin. I am not a robot and I am human.
Hi, I am Nina Saab from Lebanon and I am a human being who demanded justice for Cameron Herrin and not a robot.
My name is Mehak and I'm from Pakistan. I'm supporting Cameron Herrin not because he is handsome or attractive. I'm supporting him because I believe in his innocence. He didn't did anything intentionally. It was an unintended act and accident. I will support him until the end and until the justice is served. Thank you.
Imran and I'm from Pakistan and I support Cameron Herrin.
I am a real individual. I am a real human being. I am not a robot. I ask for justice for Cameron Herrin. I ask that he gets justice. I ask for justice for both sides, whether in Cameron Herrin's case or in Jessica Robinette. 24 years is way too much for an individual who had absolutely no intentions to kill anyone, and I believe wholeheartedly that Cameron Herrin is a good person and he has no malicious bone in him. Car accidents are very common nowadays. Street racing is very common with teenagers, and murdering a teenager